Hey guys, it's Jason. I want to talk to you tonight about something very, very important. Probably the most important thing that we've talked about over the past week, or if you've been in our clean eating group as well, the past 2 weeks. And that's motivation and accountability. Now we have talked about motivation and we talked a little bit about accountability, but I want to talk about it in the context of your why. So I will explain. What is your why? What is my why? A why is, and I mean the word why, W-H-Y, it is why you're doing what you're doing. It's why you started doing this in the first place. It's why you started your fitness journey, your health and wellness journey. Your why can be and should be the most important piece of motivation that you have to drive you forward. There's lots of external motivation out there, whether it's in the group coming from Adam or I or your fellow group mates, or you can go, Google motivation on Google, and you can find a lot of pictures or audio clips of coaches talking to their teams. There's tons of motivation out there externally. But the real motivation, the real thing that you always have in any situation to go back to when you need that extra push is your why. So today I want to talk about why your why is important, which I've already alluded to, and I want to talk about my why as well, and then at the end of the video we'll talk about some next steps. But let me talk about my why first. My why is a really long one, and I'm going to abbreviate it just a little bit because I could talk about this for easily a half an hour. My why really started in 2004, which is when I came back from a year abroad after graduating college, undergrad. In 2004, I moved in with my then girlfriend, now wife, and I got a job at a law firm as a legal assistant, and I started working some really long hours. And I was working 70, 80-hour weeks, and this was my first job right out of college, and it was pretty mind-blowing. But I was working these crazy weeks, and I would come home at the end of a long day, and my then girlfriend, now wife, Jamie, who's an amazing cook, would make some really fantastic dishes, not particularly healthy, but we weren't very health conscious back then, and I would just come home and sit down and eat that food and watch TV, and then the next day I would work 10, 12 hours, come home, eat, watch TV, and just rinse and repeat day after day, month after month, year after year for the first couple years, and very quickly I gained 25 pounds. I mean, I was always somewhat slim growing up. I was never, an amazing athlete, but I was pretty moderately athletic. I was relatively slim. College, I was a little up and down, but afterwards, from 2004 to about 2007, I ballooned up to about 25 pounds heavier than I was accustomed to. And if you've ever done that, it's a pretty significant change. So I didn't really pay too much attention because I was working so much, which is a really bad excuse, but it's where I was. In 2007, I left my law firm job to go back to school. And for those 3 years, I was studying like an animal. I was in the library if I wasn't in class. And again, it was a different situation, but I would just go to class and stay at the library and come home and then eat and go to bed. And because I wasn't devoting any time to really caring about myself physically, I didn't lose any of the weight. I put on a couple more pounds. I would go to the gym every now and then, and every now and then I realized that I wasn't doing anything physically, and I would go up a flight of steps and I would start panting and practically wheezing. But so I'd get motivated to go to the gym every now and then, and I would do some workouts, and I would feel good about myself that I actually went, but there was no continuity, and there definitely wasn't a support system. So those 3 years, I pretty much stayed at that same heavier weight, and I felt pretty bad about myself. At the end of those 3 years, when I graduated, it kind of accumulated into this really bad feeling and depression. And from then until a couple of years after, I was just in a really bad place. And it was a combination of feeling bad physically, which contributed to me feeling bad emotionally. Being in a really weird place after graduation, the economy was rough. I was looking for work. It was just a confluence of a couple different things. In 2000, 13, things started changing a little bit. My now wife, Jamie, and we got a house. I got a new job, and we had our only child, Eliana. And when things start to happen that are different from the norm, you kind of wake up a little bit and you kind of see the world around you. And I remember holding Eliana when she was a couple months old and looking down at her, and then kind of looking a little bit more down at myself, and just thinking, how did I get here? Like this isn't me. It's not who I want to be. I want to be the dad who plays with the kids, and who runs around, and who feels good physically, and who feels good emotionally, and because of all that, can provide a good life for my family and a good home atmosphere. And it wasn't where I was, and I didn't want to be there anymore. And holding her in my arms, I just came to this epiphany. I was just like, I need to do something, and I need to do something now. That was December of 2013. January, either 1st or 2nd, whatever the first day of the new year was, I committed myself to P90X3. It was, I'd actually done P90X a handful of years ago. I was up late, I saw an infomercial, I thought it was pretty cool, I ordered it, I got it. I did it for a while, I got some good results, but I didn't have any kind of support system, and I wasn't of the mindset that it was going to be a lifestyle change. So whatever good results I had, I really quickly lost, which also contributed to my bad feelings. But I found out about P90X3, and I recommitted myself, and I decided that this is the time that I was going to make that change. And so man, for that first 30 days, it was killer. I was really pushing hard. I mean, I cleaned up my eating, and I didn't miss a workout. I just really committed myself, and I dug deep. And it was frustrating because actually at the end of 30 days, I didn't see a ton of change. I felt different inside, but I didn't see a ton of change. But I was committed, and I knew that I had to keep going. So then another 30 days later, and then finally another 30 days after that, so a total of 90 days, I was changed. I was a changed person. Physically, I was a changed person. I had lost it was somewhere between like 22 and 25 pounds, and I was so much stronger, and I got abs, and I could do pull-ups, things I never thought I would be able to do, or I never thought that I could do. I stuck with it, and I was just a different person physically and emotionally than I was before. It opened my eyes to the world to see that it's not a bad place. It's a place of opportunity, and if you actually commit and are consistent with something, you can really accomplish amazing things. It was at that point that I knew that if I put my mind to something, that I could do it, and I could see results and find success, and that was inspiring. And it was also at that point that I decided to pay it forward, because I saw what I did, and I figured if I could do it, anyone can do it. I mean, I'm not special. I'm just a guy who wanted to get in shape, and it took a pretty harsh realization to do it, but I did it. So from then on, I kind of decided that I would spend time helping other folks get to where I was, because I knew how good it could feel, and I knew how far I'd come. So that's my why. It's a little personal, but I feel that it's important to share with you guys, because your why is what can drive you that extra step. It's what can motivate you when there's no other motivation there. And most importantly, it is something that can hold you accountable to yourself when there's nothing else out there to hold yourself accountable to. And that's what's going to help you find success. Take some time, and please do this, take some time to think about your why. Not just, I want to lose weight. Think about really what you want to do, where you want to go, and how you want to feel at the end of it. And write it down. You want to have a detailed why on paper, but also in the back of your mind that you can always refer back to. Because that's the thing, man, that it just keeps you going day after day. So I wanted to share that with you because I know how important it is to have that why. And I want you to do it too. Everyone joined this group for a different reason. There might be similar reasons, but everyone's got their individual bent. And whatever your reason is very important. One of the things that this group provides is motivation, of course, and also accountability. And for whatever reason you joined the group for, to get the most out of it, you have to be participatory. And in doing so, you hold yourself accountable. And by participatory, I mean post in the group. If you want to, put a video out there, or post a picture, or ask a question, and do it at least once a day. That's why you're here. It's not just to observe and see what's going on. You can do that in a variety of different ways. But what this group does is allows you to become part of the dialogue. And in doing so, you encourage others, excuse me, and you encourage yourself. And that's what's going to take you all the way to success. On that note, let's talk about next steps. So this group has been going on for a week, and it's going to go on for another week. What happens after that? Adam and I are doing a 30-day fitness workshop that starts the day after this group ends, so March 2nd. And this is going to be an amazing group, guys. Whatever reason you took part in the clean eating group or the clean eating and exercise group, this is the natural next step to continue along that journey. We're going to be putting in a lot of time and effort into this group. I mean, you can see how engaged we are in the group that we're in right now. In this next group, we're going to be dedicating a lot of personal time, a lot of one-on-one time to really helping you achieve the results that you want to achieve. And I think I can speak for Adam as well, but before I got into this, before I started doing P90X3, I was floating out there in the ether for what it's worth in terms of exercise and nutrition. I would try a little bit of this, I would do a little bit of this, and I might get a little bit of benefit, but it wasn't until I really committed to that program that I really started to see amazing results. And so you guys have been in the group for now either a week or 2 weeks, and I know from your feedback you've been feeling some great stuff. Whether it's just getting your nutrition in order, or starting a little bit of exercise, getting your blood flowing, seeing how it feels, seeing how you feel different, maybe you're sleeping better. I know a lot of you have lost a couple pounds, which is awesome, and we love seeing that. What this next group does, it takes it to the next level. And that's not meant to be something intimidating or scary. All it is connecting you with an organizational structure that makes it the most efficient that it could possibly be. I mean, your time is valuable, my time is valuable. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to go to the gym and spend 2 hours in the gym just putting up weight and seeing if it works. I love this stuff, and I love my program in particular because it has proven to me that it works amazingly. And so what we're doing in this next group is we are turning it up a level, and in the 30 days that group spans, you're going to see changes and results that you haven't seen over the past couple weeks, and probably never before if you've never done anything like this. It's really going to be phenomenal. There's a couple requirements to be in the group. I'm not going to go over them now because I really want to talk, and Adam really wants to talk with you personally. So whoever wants to take that next step and go into this group, let us know. And we'll talk with you individually about exactly what the few requirements are to be in the group, because we want to make sure that everyone's serious. We're really serious about this. We've seen what it can do, and we know what it can do for you. We want to make sure that you're serious as well. So please let us know, and then we can talk about that in a little more detail. But it's, guys, you have to take part in this group. It's going to be phenomenal, and I guarantee you, you're never going to have felt as good by doing anything else. I mean, it's really going to be fantastic. Whether you want to lose weight, build muscle, build strength, stamina, whatever your end game is, you're going to find it in this group. It's going to be awesome. So, on that note, thank you for listening. I know this was a long one, but it was a really important one, I think. And I hope you take a lot of what I said to heart, and please go out and write down your why and really, really think about it and internalize it, because it's going to be the thing that makes the biggest difference in your journey. And that's what this is. It's a lifestyle change. It's a journey. So thanks for walking it with me, and I look forward to continuing with you.